guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for checking me out. Thanks for subscribing. My name's Alexis. Little bit of background. I'm a registered nurse, have been for 4 years now, and before that I was an LPN, LVN, then before that I was a CNA. So I have years of knowledge behind the scenes of what it's like to actually be a nurse, working as a tech, going through nursing school, how to navigate life and everything about that. Also, I'm obsessed with like makeup, beauty world stuff, plus size fashion, all that little tidbits. Today's video is just going to be a rant because, I was going to film something else completely different. I was going to talk about nursing school and how to navigate that, which that is coming. But today I have to get these things off my chest because, I've been on TikTok, and we're not even going to talk about my TikTok addiction, and then like Twitter and then Instagram. You just see people from all over the United States or world, and they're nurses and they're dealing with the same mess that like I dealt with in my past, or like a lot of my friends are dealing with working in at the bedside and things. And it's just like, besides the last year, it was a hot ass mess. But what is happening all across the globe, like all management is the same, they're having the same staffing problems. It's just nursing in general is suffering, and it needs like a widespread revamp. Like something has got to change within the bedside, hospital, acute care, med surg space, and more people need to talk about it, and more awareness needs to be brought, because people really have this misconception about what the hospital is like, and what being in the hospital and what being taken care of by a nurse is actually like. Sorry I look like this. This is my running errands outfit, and by running errands I mean I'm going to TJ Maxx or in Target, so whatever. But anyways, let's get into it. Number one problem that needs to stop now is that people think the hospital is a spa, a hotel, a retreat, somewhere to relax. It's not a relaxing place. You're gonna be constantly woken up. The beds are not comfortable. The food is trash. You're gonna hear beeps all night long, and we're not here for you to like get sleep 24/7 and like revamp and relax and like feel rejuvenated. We're here to take care of whatever problem you have, and so you can go home. And if that means we have to wake you up at 1 a.m. for an antibiotic, I don't want to hear about it. Like, period, point blank. I've had people say, well, can you not wake me up to get my blood, or can you not wake me up to do this, or can you not? I can try to be as quiet as possible, but this needs to get done. Like, this is what we have to do. Or like, they don't want to go to CT, they don't want to have this test done. I just want to relax right now, I just want to sleep right now. Ma'am, you are in here because you have an infection, cellulitis all over the place, because you had a cut and you're diabetic and you didn't want to take care of it. So honestly, I don't even want to hear that. That just needs to stop. And we should be able to tell people that, like, customers always right doesn't really work for me with that. Like, it's just not a hotel. It's not a spa. A code can be going on and someone is like, can you give me a warm blanket over here? Poking their head out the room, seeing what's going on. Or my mom needs ice like now, or this and that. I literally one time had a man come in. I was charging at my med surg job, and it's like 7:15. So I'm walking out the charge nurse office, and he comes up to the desk and is like, if someone doesn't go into my mom's room and take out that dinner that's still there from last night, I'm suing you.
What? Oh. Okay.
And I was like, excuse me, like, got in my face, pointing fingers, all because a tray from, I guess, dinner time last night, no one like ever took out of the room. Sometimes, maybe dietary missed, she wanted it later or something, and I don't know what happened. But I'm thinking in my head, number one, you had a relative sitting in your relative's room all night long. Another person that is alert and oriented ×4 sitting there looking at the tray too. They could have A, called someone, B, when someone was in the room, because this person was a Q2 turn, tell them take that out. C, some relatives will bring out the tray and literally just bring it to the nurse's desk. I don't even mind that. You're doing me a favor. Like, any one of those options. Or B, just come up to, or like D, just come up to me now and tell me, hey, someone left this in my mom's room, I don't really like it, can someone come get it out? I literally would have walked my ass down there and got it for you. Like, it's all about how you approach. But like, people really, especially the relatives, love to get people moving. They love to like threaten your license and threaten to sue, and that needs to stop right now. That is abusive. That is just not a good thing. And you know, I remember having to call like patient advocacy, the chaplain, a whole bunch of people, and all of them like sided with him, like, well, the customer's always right, it should have been taken out. But he shouldn't have threatened me. Like, what's the point of him threatening, you know, someone that's like 30 years younger than him, a female at that, and then like that early in the morning? That should have been a crime against humanity all in and of itself. It is 7:15. I have not even had all my coffee yet, and you coming at me sideways. So stuff like that really needs to stop. That's the main misconception, that nurses are the end all be all. We're here to do like everything for you. It's gonna be a hotel. It's gonna be like, it's a customer service. No, these people are patients, not customer, and that's gonna start at the top. Administration considers everyone customers, and administration is my second thing I need to go into. They need a whole revamp. They are clueless what is happening at the bedside. And even when you tell them what is happening at the bedside, I really don't believe they care. They are just like, it's all about the end game for them, the end result. It's not about what is going to happen to their workers. And it's really ridiculous. Like, how do you even get yourself to run a hospital or run a facility, and you want to have your nurses having 8, 9, 10, whatever the crazy amount of patients are? You know, it's just ridiculous. I remember reading an article not that long ago where a nurse was like the only one. This was a skilled nursing facility. She was the only nurse in the building for like 50 something residents or something, and a fire broke out, and like she ended up like getting hurt on the job because she had to get all these residents out. And they were like, well, you shouldn't have went back in the building. We're not going to pay for your medical expenses because you went back in the building.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
To save your people, because you only have me in this building. So at the bottom of the day, they really do not care about us. They don't care about the nurses. They just see it as numbers. And you can tell they don't care about fixing things inside of the hospital and fixing, you know, staffing, paying people more, you know, not lowballing them, getting more people on, not just like new grads and paying them this low wages and things like that. They are just really interested in the bottom line, because they're going to pay travelers a whole crap ton of money to come in here just so they can get their numbers at a good level. Not even that great. It's just going to be like the bottom line. At least, you know, everyone's going to be maxed out, you know, some help, doing whatever they can. They're just going to put like a band-aid over like a huge wound. So it really just doesn't even make sense. That's another thing that's happening, is the trend is everyone is quitting like their full-time bedside jobs to go to travel, because they're going to get paid more money but deal with the same thing. You know, they're going to deal with the crappy assignments, the crappy patient ratios. They're going to feel like, you know, they're going to have the perks of like traveling and going to whatever like cool destinations or not cool destinations, and just like being like, I'm only here 13 weeks. I don't care about, you know, all the politics and all the stuff like that. Like, just give me my paycheck and let me move on. Which, you know, those are so many bonuses into traveling, you know, but there are cons too. But that's like the hugest trend right now. Everyone is leaving the bedside to go travel. And the problem is, you know, with these traveler contracts, still you're going to have gaps in staffing, and it's not going to be not just gaps. You're not even going to have like efficient staffing, because, you know, as qualified as a traveler can be, sometimes still there's stipulations when, you know, I know this from charging on the floor, this person can't take tele, they can't take chemo, they can't do this, they have these stipulations. You know, it's a different unit, it's a different person. Like, everyone's not comfortable maybe asking them for help, or the flow of the floor, it slows people down. I don't know. There's many problems with just having a floor with like one person that has worked there this many years, and then a whole floor of travelers. That one person is going to have to help these travelers adapt, acclimate. They know where everything is. They know the floor of the floor. It just a floor runs different when you have people that have worked there longer times, and just like travelers coming in constantly, central staffing, this float nurse, this traveler that doesn't even know what's really going on this floor. It just makes for a smoother unit, when you have good people that have been there for years, know the flow of things, I'm just telling you, there's a huge difference in it. Not to put down any travel nurses or any central staffing or things like that, but it's just kind of facts. Like, you know, if I go somewhere and I hadn't been working there that long, or even like this is my first shift, I'm gonna ask for help for the other people. But if like everyone else is their first day, or like they haven't been there that long, they're gonna be like, girl, I don't know. So I'm telling you from my experience running the floor, it's better to have people that have been there, you know, for years, know everything, can help each other, have that camaraderie and things like that. It just flows for a better floor. And, you know, my old job that I left, you know, recently, well, department, I'm still with the company, but, you know, people are saying, you know, everyone's leaving, all they have are travelers, everything is hectic. And it's just chaos. It's mass chaos, and it's happening all over. So we're gonna keep seeing that trend, and it's gonna keep being a problem. And I don't know why administration, instead of paying all these traveler contracts, won't just pay nurses more and give them, you know, the benefits that they're asking for and better, safer conditions. It will be so easy. It will, if you paid me, if you would have told me like working the floor a couple months ago that I'm gonna get paid a little bit more, and actually gave me my raise this year for dealing with all the chaos that I'm dealing with, people will do a lot of things for money. So I probably would have been like, yeah, it's kind of worth it, but it really wasn't worth it anymore after you looked at the bottom line. And then the safety issues, people are worried about their license. Girl, I worked hard for that. Absolutely not. So, you know, that all of this is really creating a perfect storm where people don't want to work the bedside. They're leaving the bedside. They're going to travel nursing. They're leaving nursing in general because they're realizing it's not all that's cracked up to be. And, you know, especially in the pandemic, people showed like their true colors of what they think nursing is, what they think healthcare is. Like, they show that they didn't really care. They, you know, people really think I go to work and like heat up soup or like hold people's hands. Like, they don't get like the complexity that is nursing. We're not just here, you know, to like babysit or be like comfort you or like, you know, give massages and different things. We're here to treat. We're the actual people that treat you. You know, the doctors will write the orders, they'll come see you, they'll do an assessment, barely, but we're the eyes and ears that's going on. We're there with you longer. We're the people that are going to advocate to get you care. We're the people that are doing dosage calculations to give you medicine. We're the people that are making critical thinking decisions. It takes a critical thinker. Sometimes I will just be sitting there running things. Well, if I do this, this will happen. Well, if I do this, will happen. And you really have to be on your P's and Q's. And it gets difficult when you have 7-8 patients. How are people supposed to really be doing that? So I don't have time. Don't get mad at me if I don't have time to go get you a blanket or go warm you up some food, because I'm looking at my person's blood pressure in here that keeps tanking. I keep giving boluses, all kinds of medicine is not coming up. And then my other one's running a fever, and my other one has critical chemo. I need to take their vital signs every 30 minutes and titrate up. You're going to be at the bottom of my list. I'm just saying. And, you know, people get upset and they have these patient surveys and they're like, well, they remember that one time, no matter how good you are, they're going to remember that one time they had to wait on Becky Sue for an hour to get a warm blanket. Period. So that's the problem with nursing. Like, they don't realize that nurses aren't here to be like your little like personal assistant. We're here to actually do serious business. Give you your medicine, make sure you're okay, attend to your wounds, look at your side effects, make sure you're not having any side effects. Like, going into all these different things, especially with chemo, oncology, leukemia, these people are sick, sis. Like, they catch a fever. I've never seen things like this before. And, you know, even in like ICU, all kinds of different departments, med surge, you know, you have to really lower patient to nurse ratios. It will just work. It just works. You have way more time with your patients. You know, once it gets to the 7-8, it's just too chaotic. It's just really too much. And your nursing license is on the line. You know, people wonder why patient satisfaction is bad. It's because of that. And it's literally, nurses are begging,
You know, please, you have to believe me. You just have to please just give me one more chance, please.
begging administration and all the corporate people to do something about it. And they literally are telling them what you need to do. Pay us more money, get us more staff that isn't like travel nursing, quit with those travel assignments, post some jobs at a reasonable salary and good incentives. You're gonna get people, but they just simply will not do it. I don't know what that's about. And then I have a problem too, especially like at one of my older jobs, management. Okay, a lot of the managers are registered nurses. They still have an active license. You know, they used to work the floor, or at least I think they should have worked the floor. If you can't help us out where we're in dire distress, what are you here for? Like, to me, you're nothing. Don't sit in your office all day on the computer. Don't be like, I have to go to this meeting. Screw that meeting. Your nurses are down in the trenches. Someone just fell. This one needs an antibiotic. We're short a person. You can hang an antibiotic real quick. You can do some file paperwork real quick. If you expect us to know all of that, I think you as a manager should know all that. I hate when managers act like, I used to have a manager that was like scared to answer the phone. I'm like, sis, if you don't pick that up, like, do something. Every manager that I have had pretty much has never been able to do anything on the floor. Like, they will just have to take more patients instead of them, you know, actually hitting the floor and helping us task or taking a patient load, which I think that would help tremendously. Not like all the time, but I think that should be an expectation. Sometimes you need to help out your nurses on the floor, or at least, you know, if your charge nurse has a set of patients, let her take over that set of patients and you take care of these charge tasks. Like, because it really is too much. Like, you do staffing, you do the flow of the floor, and like, you should be able to do staffing and be strong enough to know who your nurses are on the floor, where you could do an adequate staffing assignment and not screw it all up. You should know your nurses' strengths and weaknesses. You should know what's going on the floor, what's going on with these patients. You need to see eyes on these patients every day. Like, I, as a charge nurse, go into patients' rooms, introduce myself, see what's going on. Even if I'm a free charge nurse, like, I'll clean up the room, I'll take a tray, like, I'll be like, y'all need help passing meds. I think as a manager, you should be doing that too. You should be rounding, seeing how your nurses are, seeing what they need help with. You know, you can carve out a little bit of your time. That would help bedside nurses tremendously, period. If management got off their butt and actually did something, period, point blank. I'm not even gonna apologize for it, because that's the truth. And also, they need to calm down with, I cannot stand this. This is my biggest pet peeve, is when I'm busy and they see me and they want to come talk about continued education or some kind of module I need to do. Sis, are you going to take care of my patients while I do this module? No. They basically want you to like clock out and do the modules and all that. No, things like that need to stop, because it aggravates us as nurses. Like, we're not even worried about all that. Like, it shouldn't even be like a factor. It really shouldn't. So I'm really worried about, well, not worried, well, a little bit. I'm curious and worried to see like, what is the trend gonna continue to be? Because right now everyone is flocking to travel, to be a travel nurse. Like, I even thought about it. Like, I was looking, I was booked. I was almost pressing send to go somewhere. You know, but I'll talk about in another video why that really, it wasn't for me. Like, there's perks to traveling, but there is cons, and the con is like big for me. So, you know, and I'm not like a spring chicken anymore. I need to be thinking about retirement and things like that. I was just like, it's not for me for right now. Who knows? I could change my mind, but I really just feel like it needs to be said. It needs to be getting out there more. It needs the expectations of what, you know, you as a patient going into the hospital, what you expect of your nurses should not be in the same level of like a hotel concierge, a hotel maid, a waitress, a spa esthetician. It shouldn't be in that same realm, and it really is in that same realm, and that needs to stop. We need to be, you know, the doctor isn't all the end all be all. Like, people hold doctors to such a high standard, and they hold nurses like way down here, and we need to be somewhere, you know, we do a lot of work too, and a lot of critical thinking work and critical management. When that doctor isn't there and, you know, they see you for 5 minutes a day, maybe maybe, but we see you for 12 plus hours and we're the one reporting to them what they need to know and correcting some of the things that they do sometimes. And there's a whole bunch of backside and things on the other side that people do not see, and that needs to be talked about more. And it needs to be, the profession really needs the respect of the people, and not just the people that are patients. It needs the respect of the management, of the administrators. They need to pay us more. They need to get us safer conditions, not just for them, for us. Like, it is critical right now, like, period, point blank. So that's what my little rant is about. It's just, I don't know, I'm just fed up with like all of this. Like, every other video I see on TikTok is of someone complaining about the same stuff I've been saying, and it's like nationwide, Twitter too. Like, you would think after last year, how everyone saw what we had to deal with, it would get better, but it's just like going back to the same like shitty conditions and normal, and that's not okay. Who thinks that's okay? So, I don't know really what I want out of this video. I guess for people to like, if you're in a sucky work environment, or, you're in one of those meetings where they're like, well, what can we do better? Blah, blah, blah. Don't be the people that just sit in the corner and be like, oh, I'm okay. Say something. Speak up. It encourages other people to speak up, I think, but some people are punks, but we're not even gonna deal with that. But say what's on your mind. Don't be afraid to send that email, sis. Like, get better working conditions. Like, this is, I think, very serious, do or die. I think it's going to continue to spiral out of control and affect, the market, all of that, it's just going to affect the whole nursing career in general. So yeah, if y'all have anything to say, leave it in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram. Subscribe, share, like. It'll get my message out there about my concerns if you share it and things like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.